Have you ever started an e-learning course development project only to find it's running away over schedule, over cost, or the quality is just not there? Could overconfidence be sabotaging your team's effort? Today we're exploring the Dunning-Kruger Effect and its impact on project management in e-learning. Welcome back. Today we're discussing the Dunning-Kruger Effect and how it can affect your team's ability to run up an e-learning course development project. The Dunning-Kruger Effect is a cognitive bias where people with low ability at a task overestimate their abilities. This overconfidence can lead to serious project overruns and other challenges. I do have to admit, I've only come to this model late in my professional career, and part of me wishes I'd come to it earlier, and part of me definitely doesn't. The really important thing about this is that nobody is immune from the Dunning-Kruger effect. So, as we work through this, keep that in mind. None of us are immune from it. Let's delve a little deeper into the Dunning-Kruger effect. Named after psychologists David Dunning and Justin Kruger, this effect describes a psychological phenomenon where people with limited knowledge or competence in a particular area significantly overestimate their own abilities. This occurs because they lack the necessary awareness to accurately judge their own level of skill. One key aspect of the Dunning-Kruger effect is the double burden. Not only do these individuals make mistakes due to their lack of knowledge, but their ignorance also prevents them from recognizing their errors. This means they are both unaware of their incompetence and unaware of their ignorance. Research has shown that individuals who are less competent tend to rate their own performance much higher than it actually is. Those who are highly competent often underestimate their abilities because they assume tasks that are easy for them are also easy for others. This misalignment between perception and reality can lead to significant issues in project management and team dynamics. In the context of e-learning, which I've been doing for 20 years, the Dunning-Kruger effect might manifest itself when team members believe they can design, develop and deploy a course more quickly than is realistically feasible. They might overlook crucial steps in the process, underestimate the time required, or fail to account for the need for revisions based on feedback. Identifying overconfidence in your team. This is very important. To mitigate the Dunning-Kruger effect, it's essential to identify overconfidence early. Look for signs such as overly optimistic timelines. We'll get this course done in 3 weeks for you. Underestimate the resources required and reluctance to seek external expertise. Encourage your team to engage in honest self-assessment and to seek feedback from their peers and experts. Here are some strategies to help you overcome the Dunning-Kruger effect, manage your team and ensure successful project completion. Because ultimately, you need something delivered on time, on budget, to an agreed standard or quality. That's one of those maxims that I just love. Speed, quality, price, pick any two. First sort of strategy is promote continuous learning. Encourage ongoing training and development to help team members accurately assess their skills. Secondly, foster a culture of feedback. Create an environment where constructive feedback is valued and acted upon. Regular peer reviews and external audits can provide objective insights. Thirdly, use realistic planning tools. Implement project management tools that emphasize detailed planning and risk assessment. Tools like Gantt charts and critical path analysis can help create more realistic timeframes and timelines and identify potential bottlenecks. And finally, really important to leverage expertise. Don't hesitate to bring in an external expert or consultant to provide an objective view and guide the project. Their experience can help you and your team avoid common pitfalls. So, a real life example, right? Consider a scenario where your team is developing a new e-learning course in compliance training. Initially, the team might set an ambitious deadline, 3 weeks, believing they can complete the project quickly. However, as the project progresses, they encounter unexpected challenges, such as complex content requirements and technical issues. By recognizing the Dunning-Kruger effect, the team can reassess their capabilities, seek expert advice, and adjust their plans accordingly, ultimately leading to a successful project completion. So, a few examples from my life. I've been developing e-learning courses for 25 odd years now. So we've had a lot of experience for this, and here's some of the common things that we find in projects is that initially the timeline is just insane. So everyone feels that they can build an e-learning course in 2 to 4 weeks. Yeah, no problems, I can build that. Then they go and approach a subject matter expert who suddenly has a full-time job and has been asked to sort of dump 10,000 words and 20 years of experience into a document. That process alone is hard, right? The person has a full-time job, they've got to do it on top of that, they're not given time off to do it. They might even be reluctant to actually write that. And they may be a perfectionist and want to get it dead right. We've seen blowouts in projects where that didn't exist, and it's taken up to 3 months for the SME to actually deliver their intellectual property to the instructional designer. So that's a real one that can really get you unstuck pretty quick. Next one is always photo shoots, right? Photo shoots and video shoots are often left to the end of the project. So we see clients who sort of regularly go, yeah, write the course. Now I need some photos. And we in particular do a lot of courses around teaching, school education, community sports programs where you need kids in the photo shoot. So trying to line up a photo shoot where all the parents are happy with it, the coaches and clubs are happy with it, or the school and the classroom teachers are happy, and getting all those release forms from parents so that you've got 10 kids of some sort of social diversity in your photo shoot who are behaving properly on the day, that's a nightmare. And even planning that would take us normally 4 to 6 weeks to plan a good photo shoot. Film shoots take us 2 to 3 months to plan, so that on the day we can shoot exactly what we need to shoot at zero risk, right? So you don't want to do a photo shoot or a film shoot and not get it right on that day. So all that planning is about reducing your risk. So the Dunning-Kruger effect sort of comes in where people say, oh, I'll get the photos towards the end after I know what I need. And they leave themselves a day to get all the photos because they think, I just have to go and take photos. That'll get you unstuck every time. That's the Dunning-Kruger effect, big time. Probably the last one, and it is a huge one. It's probably equally as big as photos and videos. To me, it is this thing of reviews, right? And getting sign off for your course. So you've put your heart and soul into a course, you've built it, you've got all the photos, finally took a bit longer than you expected. The subject matter experts have given you all their wisdom, your instructional designer has assembled it into a really beautiful, meaningful program. You've done all the graphic design and used the corporate branding to build your course. And then you've got to say to the organisation, is this okay to release? Traditionally what happens in that process is that everybody has an opinion. So you feel like you have to go out to everybody, 10 people come back and tell you their thoughts on it. Oh, you need to add this, I don't like the font, it should have been blue, not green. It'll be a myriad of things, and generally reviews are uncontained. So you need to be really careful when you send something out to review and get it contained. So I've seen approval processes blow out, right? In the project plan, they're 3 days. Yeah, we'll send it to a couple of people, get their comments, and then we're right to go. Maybe change a few things. I've seen a couple of days literally blow out to 6 months because people want to see it, then they get an interest in it, they want to see the changes again, then they have another sort of think about it. I even had one project where 3 months after reviews, an organisational policy changed entirely, so the whole course had to be redone because the time it took to do reviews means that the content was no longer current. Bad planning all around from everybody. But that final thing of getting reviews and approval, grossly underestimated in the Dunning-Kruger effect. Think about one of your upcoming e-learning projects. Are there signs of overconfidence that might lead to issues down the line? Take proactive steps to assess your team's skills accurately. Seek some external feedback and plan realistically. We'd love to hear how you tackle similar challenges in your projects. So tell us your war stories. Right? I'd love to hear them. Share your experiences and insights in the comments below. I will personally read these things. I will cry with you because I have literally sat there of an evening crying because we never got an approval that we expected to get in the time frame we expected. Just a diagram on the Dunning-Kruger effect. As I say, one of the important things about this is to understand that nobody is immune from it. It's not a good or a bad thing. Like, there are some very good aspects to it. What's helpful is to understand. So here's quite a simplistic view of the Dunning-Kruger effect. So on the x-axis we have time, and we might sort of say experience. On the left-hand column we have confidence. The traditional curve goes something like this. If I know nothing about a subject, right, and I pick up my phone to take some photos for an e-learning course, I am actually really confident that I can get good quality photos for my e-learning course with my phone. As time goes on and I get more experience using photos for my e-learning course from my phone, I actually gain an appreciation that photography is a bit harder than what I thought. Right? Good photography, good lighting, all that sort of stuff, subject composition, release forms, all those things that go with it. So my confidence actually drops the more I know about photography. Then we get this thing where it has a beautiful name. This is called the Valley of Humility, and I love that name. This is where I'm in a place where I go, look, I know a bit about photography, but I am going to contract a photographer to do my photo shoots. But I might still get some more experience. The interesting thing about this effect is that generally, if I get a PhD in photography or something like that, I never get my level of confidence back to what I sort of knew early on, where I think I can do photo shoots. I'm okay to do this. So in e-learning, that's a really common one thing. We see clients all the time say, oh, we'll just go and get some photos tomorrow for the course. And no one really knows what it means to go and take photos, because they know how to take photos on their phones of their friends. But photos for learning that demonstrate a skill, demonstrate a capability, have good composition, have good lighting, demonstrate the skill that you think you're going to do, that represents the organisation's need, is very tricky. So the value of humility, love that part of it. But here's something that I don't think this is discussed enough with when people talk about the Dunning-Kruger effect. And that is that there is something I think that springboards off the top end of this. And that is innovation. And my kind of example of this, the thing that ultimately sort of contradicts this whole model for me, is the Apollo lunar missions, right? The average age of people in that control room in mission control for the Apollo missions was 24. A 24-year-old, a team of 24-year-olds sent men to the moon and got them back again and survived a big explosion mid-flight in Apollo 13. They don't have this time and experience. Yet somehow they all believed they could do it. They never believed they would fail. They never descended into this valley of humility, right? What they had was some good leadership and teams that said, we must have systems. But there is this thing where confidence is good. Confidence allows for innovation, allows for exploration. You know, people get on ships, or, you know, used to get on ships and sail around the world in the hope that they, A, wouldn't fall off the end, and B, find something really pretty at the end of the voyage. That sort of confidence is needed for innovation. And we don't want to say, let's not do this project because everybody's overconfident. Like, you don't want to stop doing things because you see this curve. The idea is to be aware of it and let the team write that it's going to be 2 weeks for this course to be built. But if you're a senior manager planning this, go, but I'm not telling my boss it's 2 weeks. I'm telling them it's 6 months or 4 months or whatever you think is realistic. Because you want people to have those failures. You want them to learn that it is not a day to get a photo shoot planned and actually done. So it's good information. It's not a rule that you say, no, sorry, I'm going to make you get an expert in the team and I'm going to slow the whole thing down and I'm going to force you to actually say, don't put 1 day in the project schedule. I would still advocate in a mentoring sort of role and, you know, with employees in my company, let people make mistakes. Just plan for them to make those mistakes. So that's what I take away from the Dunning-Kruger effect, is that, you know, I've thought we could do a photo shoot in a week. I thought we could do a film shoot and plan a film shoot in a month, right? Massive one with 80 kids. We got close, but I have suffered from this. We all suffer from this. But to me, the important thing is, if you are trying to develop people and develop expertise in your organisation, you don't stop people being confident. You just plan around the fact that they're going to be overconfident. And that's easy to do. So have fun with that. I think it's a beautiful diagram. It's a beautiful model. Congratulations to Dunning and Kruger. You're my heroes. I think this is a fascinating model and I love the way that it sort of comes together. As always, if you like the video, give us a thumbs up. If you want to see more, then hit the subscribe button. And if you want to be notified of new videos, click the notification bell. And if you have friends that you think would enjoy this, then please use the share button. And once again, thanks for watching and we'll see you next time.